I'm going to read a story from Hurry Up and Relax from 2019. This one's called Exact Change. It's about a toll booth operator. The guy with the hat that says head. He wears clothes to remind him of which part of the body it is supposed to cover. His interior is a dusty mess. The upholstery is grimy, smeared. The dashboard is sticky with dust and residue. Even the change he hands me is gritty, as if a volcano spewed ash inside his car. He waits. I count it. He nods. No words. I swear Phil seems to chuff off in the wind as he drives off. Is it my imagination, or does he cross himself? I'm boothing again today. Cash line. Line's 20 cars long. Temper short. It's July. The lady driving the chicken truck hands me a dollar bill. Exact change only, I tell her. Cripes, I'm sorry, amigo. Tell me a story and I'll let you pass. She pauses, looks in the rear view, slight smile. Well, I picked up a hitchhiker once who swore Otis Redding was still alive. You know who he is, right? Otis, I mean. I've heard of him, but I don't really know, so I nod anyway. I like the name, Otis, though, canine. This hitchhiker I picked up once said he met Otis Redding outside of a dumpster picking old apples from a garbage bag. Is your name Otis? The guy asked. I'm just sitting here resting my bones, he said, and wandered off into the dusky sky. The hitchhiker later stole my pocketbook, though it only had $30 and no credit cards. So I'm not sure I believed him. It took me forever to straighten out the license. I let her through. Nice story, even if it was just a story. She winked. I hate when people don't even say hi or thank you. One or the other is all I ask for. How much time or energy does it take to utter one or two syllables? A second? You don't have 1 second to spare? Make somebody's day a touch nicer. This one lady does the I'm not going to acknowledge you thing. I don't let her through. Say she owes another quarter. She argues but ultimately gives in. That's right, you acknowledge me now, don't you? If she was nice, I'd be nice, and it would all be nice. It's a hot and humid day, but moderately hot. Moderately humid. I've done much worse. There are days it's so muggy I sweat continually. The world seems made of sweat on those days. Even on a moderately hot and humid day, the drivers will say, "Stay cool." I nod. Stay cool. Easy to say when you've got AC and I don't. They mean well, though. They're thinking of me, if only for a moment. There are days I wish I was wearing an air conditioner. It's not a bad job, and it pays better than you think. Benefits are solid, actually. And it opens my eyes, seeing all kinds. I've seen ladies giving birth, people in full intimacy embrace in the back, a guy holding his arm in a tourniquet rushing to the hospital, compact stuff with 12 people, drugs, everything. God knows how many psychopaths I've encountered. I've been held up at gunpoint twice. Makes the job more interesting, I guess. I have my own stories. The pavement is beginning to shimmer when the elderly man pulls up. His forearms are shaking. He's really old. He hands me a sack of quarters and says it's a down payment. For what? I say. I'm paying for the rest of my life. I figure I'll be back through 20 or 30 more times max. This should cover me. Sure, but, I say, we have no way to keep track of you. How are we supposed to, know it's you? Well, you see my car, don't you? What if I'm not here? There are a bunch of other lanes, see? A bunch of other employees. What if someone else is in the booth? You make a good point, but I always go through lane 6. Can't you just put a note up? What if you change cars or something? Cars behind him are honking. You should get an easy pass, sir. That's what you should do. I hand back the sack of quarters, wave him through. But he sits there, still idling. Wait, don't I owe you money? Forget it, I say. This one's on me. 20 more times is optimistic, I think. I get a lot of guys in white vans. They're a regular staple. Contractors, workers. One van pulls in, hands me the change. 4 guys in back. The driver peeks into my booth, says they could fix it up for me, make it real nice. They must be procrastinating. I don't own the booth. You know that, I say. I know, but still. Well, what would you do? Ceramic tile, maybe put up a few nice light fixtures, stylish, I'm laughing to myself, as if I make these sorts of decisions. Yeah, I'll get back to you, I say. "What is your relationship with God?" the lady says. She has one of those perfect moral smiles, as if she was personally blessed by Jesus himself yesterday morning. She looks so innocent it makes you feel guilty just looking at her, as if you might stain her purity. "It's damn good," I say. Then I think about that. Well, good enough. I can say damn and he doesn't strike me down. "Have you been saved?" "I don't know," I say. "That's a technical question, isn't it?" "Not particularly. It's a question of your status with the Lord." "I'm comfortable where I am," I say. This type of conversation doesn't interest me. All speculation and theory. Nothing I can sink my teeth into. "But you didn't answer my question." "Thank you and have a nice day," I say. "Move along, please." There is such a thing as an interventionist God, you know. Her angelic face becomes a bit less than angelic. Everyone must suffer a fall at some point. I drink half a bottle of lukewarm water, what I wouldn't give for a beer, even a shitty wine cooler, something. I fantasize about posting a sticky note offering customers $5 for a cold one, and it's got to be cold. I'd find myself jobless if I did, however. Then a guy pulls through with a case of beer in his back seat. It takes all of my willpower not to ask him for one. Another guy pulls in and hands me his 4 quarters. "Hey, is there a bathroom here or anything?" Big fat guy with like 4 chins and flab under each arm. He's got to be dying in this heat. No," I say, "sorry." "Well, where do you go when you really have to go?" I tell him there's a building on the other side of the highway, a break room. Then he asks if he can use it. I tell him it's for employees only. What planet is this guy from? "Well, I'm just going to have to piss right here then. I can't hold it any longer." "Sir, no," I say, but he's already unzipped his fly and is pissing into an empty big gulp. Shit, I think. Nothing I can do at this point. "Sir, you can't do that here. Sir," I pick up the phone. People are honking. Guy doesn't care. I wave and nod. I write down the guy's license plate number. He'll be receiving a fine from the state. "Thank you for your time," he says. Then with one flick of his wrist, he dumps the entire big gulp onto the pavement in front of my booth and speeds off. I need a break. I signal this to booth 1 and Cheryl comes over to spell me. Thankfully, she seems to like me. Being liked has some benefits. I walk across the overpass to the central office, step inside the AC. I have 10 minutes. I close the door of the break room behind me. I drink an entire blue Gatorade. I imagine it's something else. In the break room, it's National Esquire, People, Essence, and a few old National Geographics. I look through the latter. There's a pictorial from someone in Norway. Lots of ice and caribou, and tall, gangly evergreens. I'd like to bottle that. I flip through it for a few minutes and feel better. 20 more years and the house will be paid off. One day at a time, I tell myself. How else to do it? I look out the window. The air shimmers from the heat. Exact change, I think, and how. The rest of the day, I want to autopilot. Hand out cash, hand out cash, hand out cash, sweating. I'm close to miserable, but I don't want to think about it. Thinking will make it that much more difficult. I get home and shower and go see Mom. They say she'll be out soon. It's diabetes, not cancer, one of the nurses says. It's supposed to be uplifting. Mom kisses my forehead. Hang in there, I say. You'll be out soon. Don't ever get old, she says. I know that's not the problem. I think of the guy with the bag of change. I go home and stew for it. Have a little ice cream sandwich. Makes a world of difference. Shades are drawn, dark and chilled. I'm back tomorrow and the next day, but off the day after that. There will be rest. I'll see Mom, maybe throw some darts down at Jimmy's. I'll use plastic for everything, beer, wings, everything. Next day I know I'll be back in the booth, dreaming of Norway.